Deciding who is the best at every position this year was quite a struggle.
I don't think there's a single aspect of his game that is not a 10 out of 10 right now, and I think he's the best quarterback in football.
When it comes to debating the best player at every NFL position, some guys are slam dunk, others, though, are pretty tough. We present our annual list for the best player at every NFL position right now. Offense. Quarterback, Aaron Rodgers. It's okay to think Patrick Mahomes is more gifted and athletic. It's okay to want Tom Brady here because of his career accomplishments. But really, there's little debating the NFL's top QB over the last 2 seasons. Rodgers just pulled off the rare MVP repeat, winning the honors for the 3rd and 4th times in his career. I mean, 85 touchdowns against 9 interceptions kinda speaks for itself, doesn't it? Not to mention the 70.7 completion percentage he had in 2020, or the 68.9 completion percentage in 2021. Rodgers has been far and away the NFL's most productive and efficient QB over the last 2 years. Green Bay has won 13 games over each of Matt LaFleur's first 3 seasons, with 2 NFC title game appearances. And all of that starts with Rodgers. But of course, there will be intense competition for this title next season. Can A-Rod hold on to it? We'll find out. Wide receiver, Cooper Kupp. This was a tough call between Kupp and Davante Adams, but how do you go against a guy who not only won the receiver triple crown, but also caught the game-winning touchdown in Super Bowl 56? Kupp led the league in catches with 145, and receiving yards with 1,947, and touchdown receptions with 16. It was only fitting that he caught the game-winning touchdown in the Rams Super Bowl win over the Cincinnati Bengals en route to big game MVP honors. He had arguably the greatest and most dominant single season ever for a receiver. Tight end, Travis Kelce. For those keeping track at home, it's now 6 straight 1,000-yard seasons for Kelce. That is absolutely incredible, considering how physically punishing the position is. Kelce remains the golden standard of NFL tight ends, even as he enters his age 33 season. The future Hall of Famer caught 92 passes for 1,125 yards and 9 scores last year. With Tyreek Hill now out of the Chiefs' offensive equation, Kelce has the chance to really put together some career numbers. And he's gonna have to in order to keep his spot on this list, because George Kittle, Kyle Pitts, and Mark Andrews are already giving him a run for the crown as the best tight end in football right now. Running back, Derrick Henry. Henry would have won his 3rd straight rushing title if he didn't miss 9 regular season games. We could just end the century right there, but we'll elaborate further anyways. Despite only playing in 8 games, Henry finished 9th in rushing yards with 937 last season. Only 5 guys had more rushing touchdowns than Henry, who notched 10. That's 43 total rushing touchdowns over his last 3 seasons, by the way. Henry would have made an interesting push for a 2nd straight 2,000-yard season if he had played all 17 games. Now, with all due respect to Jonathan Taylor, it is going to take more than 1 rushing title to dethrone Henry as the league's best back. Fullback, Kyle Juszczyk. The fullback position is a dying breed, you say? Well, tell that to 6-time Pro Bowler Kyle Juszczyk. Quite frankly, this was the easiest choice on our list. There are barely any fullbacks remaining in today's NFL. Juszczyk and CJ Ham are really the only ones who actually get meaningful playing time. Juszczyk remains a quality blocker in Kyle Shanahan's offense, but he also has a knack for coming up with timely receptions. Juszczyk has caught 65 passes that went for first downs over his 5 seasons in San Fran. Not to mention his 8 receiving touchdowns. Offensive tackle, Trent Williams. Most offensive linemen begin to decline in their early 30s, but Williams is an exception. In fact, he's coming off quite literally one of the absolute greatest seasons for an offensive lineman in NFL history. Williams, not Aaron Donald, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, or Cooper Kupp, was Pro Football Focus's highest graded player of 2021 at 98.3. Actually, this was the best grade for an offensive lineman in the history of PFF. As usual, Williams' dominance in the trenches allowed anyone lining up in the Niners' backfield to go off for some big games, and his efforts helped the 49ers reach the NFC Championship game, where they narrowly fell to the Los Angeles Rams. Not to worry, at this rate, Williams will probably play at Pro Bowl level for 5 more years, minimum. No reason to think he's going to slow down anytime soon. Center, Creed Humphrey. Raise your hand if you thought the number 63 pick of the 2021 draft would be the most impactful addition to the Kansas City Chiefs offensive line, and not veteran stalwarts Orlando Brown Jr. or Joe Thuney. Humphrey was an absolute rock in the middle of the Chiefs O-line. At 92.5, he was Pro Football Focus's highest graded center for 2021, allowing only 1 sack on 1,184 offensive snaps played. The vast majority of offensive linemen are supposed to experience growing pains as rookies, even the highly touted first-round picks. But Humphrey, who was a day 2 selection, only established himself as the NFL's best center, at least through year 1. Guard, Zach Martin. A surprisingly down year for Indianapolis Colts star Quentin Nelson allowed Martin to regain the title as the NFL's best guard. Martin earned his 7th career Pro Bowl nod and a 5th first-team All-Pro selection in 2021. A resume like that means he's pretty much a first-ballot Hall of Famer if he retired today. Martin's excellence in the trenches allowed Dak Prescott to play at an MVP level. He and Tyron Smith remain the NFL's best duo along the offensive line. And despite their respective ages, we have little reason to expect that will change in 2022. Defense. Defensive end, Myles Garrett. There are many great pass rushers in today's NFL, but no defensive end does it better than the first overall pick of the 2017 draft. Garrett hit double-digit sacks for the 4th straight season, a career-high 16 to be exact. And don't forget he had 7 in just 9 games during his 2017 rookie year. 58.5 career sacks and 11 forced fumbles in just 68 career games? What more can you ask for if you're the Browns? Defensive tackle, Aaron Donald. Donald is far and away the best defensive player in the league. The last thing missing in his Hall of Fame-like resume was a Super Bowl ring. And hey, the Rams finally climbed that mountain in 2021. Is it a stretch to say Donald could overtake Lawrence Taylor as the greatest defensive player ever? I wouldn't bet against it, that's for sure. Inside linebacker, Fred Warner. That 5-year, $95 million extension Warner received in the 2021 offseason will be a bargain in short time. Though Nick Bosa earns most of the recognition, Warner is just as valuable to the 49ers defense. And we saw it once again during the team's late season surge, which took them all the way to the NFC Championship game. Warner had an epic performance in the 49ers' upset win over the Packers in the snow-filled divisional round affair at Lambeau Field. This included a forced fumble on Mercedes Lewis that stalled a Green Bay drive in San Fran territory. The Packers, who were up 7-0 at the time, only put up 3 points the rest of the way. Outside linebacker, TJ Watt. Well, make that 4 Defensive Player of the Year awards in the Watt family. The oldest brother, JJ, had 3 on his mantle. TJ, the youngest of the 3, finally won his first in 2021 after a historically good season. Watt tied Michael Strahan's record for sacks in a single season with 22.5. And you can put away that asterisk for the 17-game season because Watt actually missed 2 games, setting his record in 15 games compared to Strahan's 16 games played in 2001. Watt's sack total, remarkably, has gotten better each year. Just look at the numbers from 2017 to 2021. In order, he's put up 7, 13, 14.5, 15, and 22.5 sacks per season. Something tells us that more Defensive Player of the Year awards await the youngest Watt brother. Cornerback, Jalen Ramsey. Ramsey was once again a 5-star lockdown corner for the Rams in 2021. He simply did it all in year 1 under new defensive coordinator Raheem Morris. Morris loved using Ramsey all over the field, in the slot, in zone, and man-to-man, and even as an occasional pass rusher. The future Hall of Famer was out for the challenge, of course, and his impressive outing led the Rams to a Super Bowl 56 championship. Ramsey had 4 interceptions and 16 passes defended in 2021. In a way, it's surprising, because you'd think opposing QBs would know by now to avoid throwing the ball in his direction. Free safety, Kevin Byard. Byard was the heart and soul of the Titans defense last season, keeping them afloat despite so many injuries to key stars. The remarkably durable Byard still hasn't missed a game through 6 seasons. 2021 was arguably his best year yet, as Byard notched 5 picks, 13 passes defended, and 2 forced fumbles. Opposing QBs completed just 51.7 pass attempts when targeting Byard, and the passer rating when targeting him was a woeful 68.8. Derrick Henry and A.J. Brown get most of the attention in Music City. But let's not overlook Bayard. The do-it-all veteran is just as important to this team's success. Strong safety, Budda Baker. The Washington product is coming off perhaps the best season of his career. Baker was the Arizona Cardinals' MVP on defense, recording 3 picks, 7 passes defended, and 2 sacks. As usual, Baker held down the fort in coverage while also making plays as a pass rusher. After allowing 5 touchdowns in coverage a year ago, Baker cut that number down to 2 in 2021. And opposing QBs had just a 73.4 passer rating when targeting him. Special teams. Kicker, Justin Tucker. Like Aaron Donald, it's hard to envision anyone replacing Tucker here for a while. The most accurate kicker in NFL history at 91.061% was somehow at his best in 2021. Tucker made 94.6 of field goal attempts, the highest mark of his entire career, and he didn't miss a single extra point. Oh, and by the way, he set an NFL record with a 66-yard walk-off kick against the Lions in Week 3. So, easy call here. Moving on. Punter, A.J. Cole. Cole led the NFL by averaging 50 yards per punt, which is kind of ridiculous. None of his punts were blocked either. He just had 7 touchbacks and pinned opponents inside the 20 on 28 occasions. Honestly, he's quickly becoming a secret weapon for the Las Vegas Raiders. Kick returner, Andre Roberts. For the second time in his career, the flashy Roberts led the NFL in kick return yards. The special teams weapon out of the Citadel finished with 1,010, averaging an impressive 27.3 yards per return. This included a 101-yard kick return touchdown against the Denver Broncos in Week 17. Simply put, nobody in the return game is better than Roberts right now. Punt returner, Devin Duvernay. Only Ray McCloud finished with more total punt return yards than the Baltimore Ravens speedster last season. But Duvernay averaged more yards per punt return at 13.8, the second best mark in the NFL. Duvernay was just one of 5 punt returners to cross 300 yards on the season. And at 24 years old, he should only get better from here. But what changes would you make to this list for the best NFL player at every position right now? Join us in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps out a ton. And hey, we appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching and we'll see you guys next time.